Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Q&A session for the Disruptive Challenge, for the Disruptive Technology Challenge in the Aral Sea for Landscape Restoration. I hope you can hear us well and see us well. I would like to first tell you a few words as an introduction for this challenge event. As you may know, we had a few days ago a webinar on the challenge and the Aral Sea, explaining a little bit the objective of the challenge, the context of the Aral Sea, with several guests from different spheres of the innovation sector, including startups, academia, our government partners. And we are following up today with a more detailed session regarding the procedure of the challenge, as we received many questions from participants, how to apply, if you need more precisions on the kind of technologies that will need to be applied, what are the deadlines, what are the key dates for the challenge. So we thought that it would be a good idea to share with you some answers in a live session today. But before we move towards the questions and tell you a little bit more about the challenge itself, I would like our team to introduce themselves. So we will conduct a little round table as an introduction for now. And I would like to ask first maybe my Wellbank team to introduce themselves. So maybe I will start with myself first, actually. So my name is Manon Casara. I am the Wellbank coordinator for that project, together with Dorit and Martin. We have a bigger team, and our manager, Paola Agostini, cannot attend today, but this is our core team in charge of the overall organization of the challenge. So if you have any question, please reach out to us. Please, Dorit, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, Manon, thank you. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Jorrit. I'm from the Netherlands. I am a consultant for agriculture and environment at the World Bank. And as Manon said, we are organizing this challenge.
Thank you, Dorit.
Hello, everyone. This is Martin. I'm an innovation consultant. I'm part of Manon and Jorrit's team, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. It's going to be an amazing challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. So actually, we are not organizing this challenge alone. We have a much bigger team with us, and quite an amazing one, both based in Central Asia as well as globally. And I will start with first our Central Asia partner for the implementation of this challenge, the Kazakhstan University. So please, dear DKU team, introduce yourselves. Maybe Baljan, would you like to go ahead?
Всем здравствуйте, спасибо большое, Манон. Я продолжу на русском языке. Меня зовут Балжан Джумагазина, я представляю Казахстанско-немецкий университет. Мы являемся исполнителями данного проекта. У нас в проекте также есть еще дополнительные коллеги, которые себя представят. Маша, тебе слово.
Добрый день, меня зовут Мария Генина. Я являюсь тоже одним из супервайзеров, организаторов этого проекта со стороны Казахстанского немецкого университета, и также веду проекты, связанные с развитием экологического бизнеса в Центральной Азии среди молодежи. Очень рада быть с вами и надеюсь, что эта встреча будет всем полезной. Сейчас Алия, не знаю, с нами или нет, но нет. Ага, тогда GLF.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Baljan. Let's move towards another of our key partner for the implementation of this project. I would like to call up the Global Landscape Forum team to introduce themselves. Maybe Elena, would you like to start?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Manon. My name is Elena Matvichuk, and I'm the communications consultant at GLF. And we are also a part of this project, and we are very, very excited to be here, and we help mostly with the outreach of the project. And yes, welcome to the session. And I will pass then to Judy and to Amy, also from my team, and to Vigit.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Judy.
Go ahead.
I'm the Global Assistant Coordinator at the Global Landscapes Forum. Sorry, Emmy. And yeah, we're very happy to be here and to support the Disruptive Tech Challenge as the Global Landscapes Forum, and yeah, to increase the international network. And we're very happy to see what's coming out of this session.
Great. Well, Judith said it well. So I'm also from the Global Landscapes Forum. My name is Emmi Riikanen, and so the Global Landscapes Forum office is based in Bonn, Germany. But like already mentioned, we are doing outreach globally. Happy to see you all here today.
And hello, my name is Vigit Triadi. I'm based in Indonesia. I'm webmaster of GLF. I'm really happy to having everyone here. So yeah, welcoming everyone. So back to you, Manan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vigit. So with no more introduction on our side, at least on the team side, we would like to provide you with a short explanation of what the challenge is about and a little bit more details on this event. So I might ask now my teammate Jorit to share his screen and start introducing the project.
Yes, thank you, Manon. So welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for attending. We'll give a short overview here of the context of this challenge and how it was established and why. So disruptive technologies is a concept that the World Bank has been very famous, but there have been many definitions. We chose to use a very simple one here to provide some context. So we say that disruptive technologies are innovations that abruptly alter the way consumers and businesses operate. And these technologies can be good, and they're very famous examples of how they have made life of consumers much easier, for example, Uber. But they can also cause inequality, and they can lead to job losses. So it is important to harness these technologies in a way so that they are actually good. And in order to do this, we think this challenge can help providing and creating an ecosystem where these innovations can be adopted in a gradual and an effective way. And if we do it that way, we hope that these solutions can bring new approaches to old problems and more adequate solutions too, because they're a more bottom-up approach. And the good thing about this technology is that they often use public domain data, and the companies that use that data will often also provide that data again as building blocks for the future. There's many famous examples of disruptive technologies. I already mentioned Uber. A company like Zoom is also very famous, but in development they're less famous, and especially in green technologies are not that well known. Some of the most famous green technologies are here in the top left corner. You can see remote sensing. That is a very effective tool for monitoring and evaluating the progress of landscape restoration, for example. And in the bottom left, you can see a drone planting trees. And another famous and very impactful example is drip irrigation that you can see on the bottom right. Then during COVID-19, the adoption of disruptive technology has leapfrogged. So I think that this challenge comes at a very powerful moment when the acceptance of these technologies is much higher. And you've seen this in online healthcare, for example, or the use of robotics for measuring temperature or bringing medicine to people that are infected, or for example, applications that can track who is infected using blockchain-based monitoring platforms. and of course, home-based working solutions that have changed our lives quite a bit, and we are using one of them now. For this challenge, we chose a very challenging environment, namely the Aral Sea. This is a very complex situation, so I think especially here, this challenge can come up with approaches that we never thought of. And the other reason we chose this region is because it's very replicable. The situation that is happening here is also across many other places in Central Asia. In the Aral Sea, it's a very challenging socio-economic context. There have been many job losses. There's many public health issues, and the environment is extremely degraded, and that's mainly desertification and salinization. This challenge comes at a moment that landscape restoration is very high at the political agenda of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. During the Bonn challenge, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan both pledged over millions of hectares to restore in landscapes. Later on, this was fortified in the ECA 30 pledge initiative, and we got financing for this project from the Central Asia Water and Environment Partnership, and we are implementing this challenge as an activity under the larger Resilient Central Asia Resilient Landscape Program from the World Bank. And Manon will continue to talk about World Bank efforts that are ongoing now in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jorit, for this very nice introduction. And I think maybe a lot of you participating in this forum today are aware of ongoing activities in the Aral Sea, but just wanted to bring you a little bit more context in here, because a lot is being done, a lot has been done. There is a big history in the region, but we really want to make sure that the challenge and the solutions that will be selected are also aligned with this historical background in the Aral Sea. So we had the first project to recover the northern Aral Sea that was established actually in the early 2000s. Another phase is being developed for further development of the northern Aral Sea region. This project, actually, the first phase really enabled to bring back the sea in the northern part of the sea and further contribute to socio-economic development in this part of Kazakhstan. In both Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, there was also a lot of initiatives for sustainable forestry in the area of the Aral Sea, in particular focusing on Saksau. But a lot of different experiments are being made now, and not only in sustainable forestry, but also in sustainable irrigation or agriculture, and more linkages also towards ecotourism development and socio-economic development. So I think through new projects that are coming into these regions, there is a tendency to make them a little bit more circular, not only focusing on one sector, but to make sure that the contribution in one sector, may it be water resources management or agriculture or irrigation, contributes to other sectors in the socio-economic sphere, such as ecotourism or other added value chains of the agriculture sector, for example. Next, Jody. Thank you. So what is interesting with this challenge is that, as I already said a little bit before, we are not doing it alone. And partnership is key. It's key not only because this is a big challenge and we need a large team to manage these different components, but we want to have a lasting impact in the region and at all the levels. So that's why we really showed, and in particular because COVID times are a little bit particular, to have a strong partner in Central Asia to really allow a very high participation from the region and a big promotion. And the university is very well connected to youth network and to academia network. On another level, we have the Global Landscape Forum that really provides a strong knowledge of the landscape approach at the global level and has a very large outreach globally. And another level and another layer for this challenge is the business layer that we want to emphasize, because all of us in the team, we do not have this entrepreneurial mentality, but we are really learning about it. And this is all about what is this challenge. So we have the Plug and Play Accelerator as a key partner who is bringing this key private sector mindset. And of course, we are doing it along with our government partners in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, as well as in the Aral Sea, so the executive committee for serving the Aral Sea, that are supporting our initiative. As for the scope, so as I mentioned, through this challenge, we really want to envision landscape restoration as a holistic approach, and how landscape restoration can provide benefits at the socio-economic level, but also to all the stakeholders living and working around the Aral Sea area. The idea is to see new solutions to problems that have been recurring all the times, because we have been doing the things the same way for a long time, and this doesn't always solve the problems. So the objective is really to try to dig our minds and our brains, our creativity, to find new solutions to solve this. And of course, so it can also complement ongoing efforts. Of course, we are aware that such a challenge on innovative technologies cannot solve all the issues that exist in the Aral Sea, but at least I think, and our team thinks, that even small seeds planted at a timely manner can make a big difference in the longer term. So we shouldn't ignore this kind of key ideas or solutions that can one day maybe change something more important. So this is also, I think, a little bit related to several questions that we had. As for the activities, so Valjan will tell you a little bit more about it, but we are now, we have launched the call for proposal end of November. It's going to close in January, and everything, all the information is available on the GLF website and webpage. We expect the challenge to take place end of February, sorry, and between them, we will have a capacity building, as we say, bootcamp program that will be set up before the challenge. And we will tell you a little bit later about all the other activities. Next. As for the challenge days, so we are planning to establish this as a Shark Tank format. It sounds scary, but I promise we will try to make it as fun, interactive, and interesting as possible. So during the challenge day, we expect that the long-listed participants will present their innovations, and the best winners will be selected. We expect to have 4 winners selected. 4 winners along 4 categories of the challenge. I'm not sure we have this in our slides, but we have 4 categories in the challenge. So agriculture and land management, sustainable forestry, socio-economic development, and knowledge and information exchange. So this will be the winners for these 4 categories of the challenge. And yes. And for this slide, I will ask my colleague Martin to go through it.
All right. Thank you, Manon. As Manon was saying, this is basically your opportunity to be seen and thrive and have your idea to be in the hands and in the eyes of some of the most qualified experts in the world, as well as some of the key policymakers in the region. The top 5 submissions for each of the 4 themes will have the opportunity with this global audience to go into this live online event, and they present their findings in the Shark Tank format that Manon was describing. As a shortlisted candidate, your proposal will be included on our report on key innovations for landscape restorations, to be published online by the World Bank and other prominent partners. Your solution will be featured in key media outlets in connection with the challenge, the World Bank, and other partners. The winners of each theme will receive a monetary award of up to $4,000, and the final amount is still pending. After the challenge, the winners will participate in this 4-month mentorship, where you will be working hand by hand with World Bank, Plug and Play, Kazakh German Institute, Global Landscape, and all the different partners and governments. Again, I want to emphasize that the bank and the participants take this very seriously as an opportunity to learn what's happening, what's being done around the world, and it's your opportunity to shine. Please present your proposal. Please participate. It's not a hard process to present your proposal, and it will be seen by some of the world experts. And thank you all so much to participate. I hope you do. Thank you. Manon, back to you.
Thank you. So further after the challenge, because we want to have a continuous impact, we are thinking about creating different knowledge products, but this we might have a different session about it after the challenge. Next. And as I mentioned, we have a big team, and I already mentioned about this, but you have a better overview of who are these partners who are accompanying and supporting our initiative. Next. Thank you so much. Maybe it will be good if Baljan and Maria, you could go ahead with presenting a bit more details about the challenge itself on your side before we move to the question and answers.
Спасибо большое, Манон. Я надеюсь, вы все видите презентацию, которую мы подготовили для вас. Во-первых, хотела сказать еще раз большое спасибо за то, что вы выделили время на то, чтобы услышать побольше о нашем конкурсе прорывных технологий в сфере восстановления земель. Так. Как уже было отмечено, основная цель этого конкурса – это именно поиск и развитие инновационных подходов и технологий, которые помогут нашему Аральскому региону восстановиться и помочь именно местному населению, которое проживает в этом регионе. Как уже Манон отметила в своей презентации, у нас конкурс имеет несколько этапов. Первый этап – это открытие приема заявок, который у нас начался с 12 ноября, и крайний срок подачи заявок заканчивается 15 января следующего года. Все заявки должны быть поданы в онлайн-режиме, обязательно на английском языке, и они должны быть поданы по ссылке, которую я здесь вот вам указала, чтобы вам было удобнее. Вы проходите по этой ссылке, заполняете специальную форму, отвечаете на все вопросы, которые представлены в этой форме, и отправляете вашу заявку, которая уже далее будет рассматриваться членами международной конкурсной комиссии, которая будет также оценивать ваши заявки в онлайн-режиме. После того, как будет проведен этап отбора, и мы отберем финалистов в полуфиналистов, это будет около 15-20 человек, они будут проходить специальную программу по наращиванию потенциала в феврале следующего года. После того, как финалисты пройдут эту подготовку, они должны будут презентовать свои проектные идеи уже в конце февраля на конкурсном дне, финальном турнире, где также будет представлена конкурсная комиссия, и свои финалисты уже в рамках этого турнира презентуют свои проекты и будут определяться победители нашего конкурса. Как уже сказал Мартин и коллеги, финалисты нашего конкурса, они получат определенные призы, это будут и денежные призы, и награды, и международное признание. И поэтому мы будем очень рады видеть как можно больше людей со всего региона, потому что этот конкурс открыт для международных участников, не только из Центральной Азии, могут подать все любые желающие, как индивидуальные лица, так и большие компании, которые работают по данному направлению, у которых есть какие-то идеи именно уже на стадии хотя бы тестового режима работы, то есть хотя бы которые уже частично работают и которые готовы к запуску. Мы приглашаем всех желающих подать вашу заявку. Также, как уже отметила Манон, все заявки у нас принимаются по нескольким категориям. Это сельское хозяйство и землепользование, устойчивое лесоводство, затем социально-экономический аспект и четвертый аспект – это информация и распространение знаний. То есть все желающие по этим 4 направлениям могут подать заявку. После того, как будут отобраны финалисты после февраля 2021 года, финалисты пройдут несколько дополнительных этапов по наращиванию потенциала. Это будут тематические вебинары, это будут тренинги по развитию бизнес-навыков и также один из дополнительных бонусов для финалистов. Это будет программа менторства, также, возможно, от компаний, известных мировых компаний, которые работают именно по направлению развития стартапов, акселерации. Так что мы будем очень рады, если даже молодые стартапы присоединятся к нашему конкурсу. В принципе, на этом, Манон, все. Это вкратце мы можем продолжить дальше уже отвечать на вопросы.
Спасибо, Baljan. Thank you very much. So I think now we are ready to go towards the questions that we have received previously. And I want to thank all of you who have actually already contributed with some of your questions. I think these are very also indicative for us and really good ones, actually. So I will again share my screen so you can see a little bit the questions we will display today before opening up to the question live. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. So let's go with the first question. Oh, first, okay, you already have the interpretation instructions provided here, but I hope everybody already figured it out. I'm really sorry I should have go through it before, but just to mention, just in case, on the bottom of the screen, just a little bit up, you have to click on interpretation and then select the language of your choice, which is either English or Russian. Sorry for that. I hope you already figured it out. If not yet, I hope now you are, or you have. So you also figured out, I think, how to use the Q&A section right here. And because I saw already some exchanges there, but just in case, also mentioning that again. So for the application process, actually, we have received quite similar questions in the last minutes towards the details of this. And does a proposal have to include a business plan? What should be the duration of the project, and what should be the estimated budget of the project? So I think there is one answer that I will want to provide for these three questions, or at least to keep in mind when you have these three questions on this paper. The first thing is that every solution that are proposed for the challenge has to be realistic and feasible, may it be technically or financially. So as long as you think about the solution in a realistic, feasible way, technically and financially, then the duration has to fit in there, or the budget as well. The proposal doesn't have to include a perfect business plan. We are not at that detailed stage yet. However, you might want to include some implementation element that will demonstrate how the proposal is realistic and feasible. So if I have to answer clearly, a business plan, it's not mandatory, but some implementation elements that show how your project is feasible and relevant, yes. There doesn't have to be any duration for the project in particular. It still has to be, again, feasible and realistic, but we are quite open to it, And the same for the budget. Of course, as I mentioned, the aim of the challenge is not, and we don't have the means for that. It's not to change or to solve all the issues that are in the Aral Sea, because it is huge, and it's not just thanks to our project that we can solve that. So don't think of humongous projects with billions of dollars in the project that you are proposing. We want just disruptive technologies. So innovations can be also simple, it doesn't have to be so sophisticated, but still, again, it is open, as long as it is realistic and feasible and relevant to the Aral Sea context. Actually, I'm just thinking, because we might have other questions on this, but no, I think it's good. So actually, we have also received the questions about if the proposal need to bring financial returns, or how important for the proposal to be business oriented. This is also a little bit in line with the questions asked here. And again, I will say, well, if we envision this challenge to solve landscape restoration or to improve landscape restoration issues in the Aral Sea, and to do it sustainably and according to the holistic approach we want to have, then yes, the proposal really can demonstrate how financial returns are possible, how you want to make it. I mean, this way will be really important for your solution to be sustainable. So it's going to be a big plus if with your innovation you propose really some measures or implementation measures that will provide financial sustainability. So I will say it's important. It's really important. It's an advantage. So next, how many proposals can be submitted by one individual team or organization? So in the rules of the challenge, we suggested that several individuals can, or that one individual can suggest several proposals. Yes, but again, so one criteria for this challenge is, first of all, quality. So we really want qualitative solutions that will be proposed, again, financially and technically feasible and relevant. So please be mindful, if you want to submit several proposals, these should be really qualitative. Don't suggest like 10 or 15 proposals, because I mean the objective is still to have a quality at the end. And that's why actually, and it's also linked to one of the questions that we received previously, that's why we do not talk only about ideas, we talk about solutions. So the category of innovations that we are looking for are solutions that are already developed, that are beyond the concept stage, not maybe yet commercialized, but at least the solution is at an advanced stage of development. It has been tested. You had 1 or 2 prototypes already ongoing, and you have already some lessons learned and already some kind of a good idea of the implementation and relevance for your solution. So your solution has to be beyond the paper stage, if I want to say so. Which areas of the Aral Sea region shall I include in my project proposals? So initially, the challenge is focusing on the Aral Sea watershed. So Kazakhstan part and Uzbekistan part of the Aral Sea. However, we understand that the other parts of Central Asia can know similar challenges in terms of degradation. Of course, not as dramatic as the Aral Sea itself, but landscape degradation is a big challenge overall in Central Asia and in the basin more largely of the Aral Sea. So you can propose a solution for the Aral Sea watershed, focusing on Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, but ideally it could be also replicated in other regions of Central Asia, which have similar landscape degradation challenges. Will I receive feedback about the status of my application or where I could get an update about it? So we have now an online platform that I think you have the link already in the registration page. So through that, you will submit your application, and then the team will definitely keep in touch with you on the status of your application and if you have been selected or not selected. So you will definitely have some feedback from us as soon as you will enter the application process. And so it will be through our webpage, and our team will share with you again. Maybe it has been done through the Q&A chat, but I might ask my team again to share a link of the website again in the Q&A chat. Again, on the application process, as organizers of the Global Challenge, do you expect many participants from the countries of the Central Asia region, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, considering the vibrant startup environment in these countries? Actually, I really like this question because this is something that we absolutely wanted when we created this challenge. Actually, we wanted both high participation from Central Asia and from other regions in the world. And I think this is working quite well. And if you look at the number of participants today in our Q&A session, I think a lot of people are coming from Central Asia, and I'm actually very happy about it. So yes, we expect a lot of participants from Central Asia in general, and also maybe actually to a minor extent some other regions, but still I hope we get some equal participation. So I think this is great. So what do we mean by technology or disruptive technology in the context of this challenge? And I think I liked very much the approach of Jorit on this, actually. And I think as I was mentioning before, and as my team mentioned also before, disruptive technology for us is a way that we can propose a new way of doing things to solve old or recurring issues, to propose a different perspective, to see a problem with another angle or with a fresh eye, to refresh a situation that was difficult, and then you have a solution that might solve everything. That doesn't mean that we have to reinvent the wheel or to change everything from the scratch. It can be something very simple that can modernize the ways that you always did the things, and this small thing, this small modernization will change a lot in the future. And that's why actually we don't see disruptive technologies as only a hardware. It doesn't have to be, it can be, but it doesn't have to be always a software or an infrastructure or a device. It can be this, but it can be also very soft. It can be a new way of convening people, a crowdsource a project. It can be a new institutional setup, an approach, a didactic approach to landscape approach in the Aral Sea. It can be this kind of innovations too. So when you think of technology in the context of the challenge, think of it hard and soft, soft and hard. Does the definition include a new agricultural model or approach? Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Where agriculture and land management are part of proposals that enter into the first category of the challenge. So it's agriculture and land and land use in general. So definitely, if you have some ideas on agriculture models, it definitely fits into the first category of the challenge. And also don't I will just remind you actually what is this first category about. So for agriculture and sustainable land management, we include irrigation and land-fed agriculture, but also grazing, land pasture management, water-saving technologies, irrigation, and cost-effective technologies for both, actually. So please enter in this category indeed. As for architecture, can architects participate with green and sustainable architectural projects? I will say absolutely too. And this will be definitely one of the innovative approach that we are looking forward to hear about as part of this challenge. I personally find it very innovative to see how this fits with our challenge. As for the rewards and recognition, how many winners will be selected? So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, we plan to select 4 winners, 1 per category of the challenge. And so 1 for the best innovation for agriculture and sustainable land management, 1 winner for sustainable forestry, 1 winner for social and economic development, for landscape restoration, and the last winner for information and knowledge. So these are actually, you have another questions on this later. So what are the rewards and recognitions, and where can I find more information about them? So actually, as Martin mentioned, but actually you can find more information now on our webpage, what we just mentioned a little bit earlier. So we plan to have both monetary prizes as well as recognition awards. So rewards at the monetary level will include grants up to $4,000, and Of course, as part of the recognition and other rewards, we are planning a mentorship program with big accelerators and institutions recognized globally that can help your business to grow and to implement your innovation further on. So we are also very excited about this recognition. Your innovation will be included into an innovation book or an ebook that will be featured on the website, and we will try to make sure that your solution will be marketed or more visible in our services at the World Bank with other projects, and why not also with other donors and interesting projects in the region. So will funding be available for those projects selected? So I was curious when I saw this question to understand what do you mean by funding, because indeed we are planning some monetary awards, but if you mean funding about the project itself later on, no, nothing is planned through it later. However, through the recognition prizes and the visibility that we will provide to the projects, this might be your chance to further fund or find further sources of finance for your project later on. How will the challenge support innovations or initiatives proposed by young people? Well, to this, I want to say we are very lucky to have the Kazakh University for that, because as a key implementator for our projects, they are well recognized in Central Asia with youth networks and academia network across the region and beyond. So it's good to see that the promotion towards the youth community has been very efficient until now. So we continue to do so, and we definitely expect very positive results with participation of youth. So it might be the time now for the live Q&A session. And so I'm just checking what do we have now in the questions that have been asked in the chat. Just a minute. So I see some questions that we already answered. So about the challenge in the category. Actually, one interesting question. How about proposals that cover or include 2 or more categories? So this is definitely possible. But we want to be very careful with that. So, you know, among the 4 categories, the 4th category on information and knowledge is a bit broad. So we want to authorize 2 categories together, but not more. So if you have, for example, a solution that focus on agriculture, but let's say it's a kind of software that aims at sharing data on the state of the pasture land in your region, that might fit the 2 categories. But for us, it's going to be difficult to authorize more categories together. So please limit it to 2. Can we accept joint submissions by international organization and country-based research institute? Yes, definitely. As we said, who can apply? It's open to everyone. So physical entities, individuals, organizations that have a legal personality. So it is authorized. About project implementation. Реализация проект проведена под собой выезд выживания в район бассейна Аральского моря. Would you like to answer this, Baljan?
Yes. Реализация проекта, был вопрос про реализацию проекта, подразумевает ли под собой выезд и проживание в районе бассейна Аральского моря. Проекты, которые вы подаете, они должны быть применимы потенциально для региона Аральского моря, чтобы в дальнейшем эти проекты могли бы быть реализованы на месте, но это не обязательно. Они могут быть, допустим, реализованы где-то, созданы, применены в другом месте, но обязательно должны быть потенциально применимы к региону Аральского моря.
Thank you, Baljan. So about the solution and technology and the scope of the solution, does it have to be scalable to the entire basin, or for example, a small irrigation scheme with a scalable approach? It's up to you. But again, as I mentioned, don't forget it has to remain technically and financially relevant and feasible. So these are the two main criteria for this one. However, as I also mentioned, it is better for now to propose a solution that is really related to the watershed.
Manon, you're on mute.
Manon, звук.
Sorry. Is it better now? Sorry.
Yes, perfect.
So you can propose still the watershed is important, but your innovation can have also benefits for the entire basin. So don't forget to mention this in your application. Other questions? Okay. Do we have other questions, Tim, that you would like to complement? Or is there any area you would like to complement based on the answers that we provided? I'm asking to my team members just in case. Oh, so yes.
Yeah, Manon, maybe I can add some, because I saw there was a question about, я продолжу на русском, вопрос по поводу того, на какой стадии должен подаваться проект, должен ли он быть написан, просто описан на бумаге, без какого-то прототипа, который уже работает, или он должен быть уже в стадии какой-то тестового режима. Мы бы хотели получить именно такие проекты, которые имеют минимальную рабочую фазу, то есть они должны иметь какой-то прототип уже рабочий, хотя бы в тестовом режиме, чтобы его можно было бы потенциально уже применить где-то в регионе. This was the question that I wanted to mention once again.
Okay, thank you so much, Baljan. And I really want to mention that actually you should really follow the application form that is in our system. So you have, it's all electronically based. So this will be the only format authorized for your application form.
And then there was one question that maybe would be interesting in answering publicly. It was if the project's winners if their proposals will be implemented. And to that question, I answered that we cannot promise that it will be implemented, but we have, as part of this challenge, that you have publicity. And this goes for the winners, but also the shortlisted proposals, that they will be in contact with a large network of potential investors, experts, local organizations, and also the World Bank. So we cannot promise that it will be implemented, but it will definitely be exposed to people that could be take this proposal to implement it. And also we are starting up a very large project in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, under the Resilient program, and also there we are looking for solutions. So if this is very relevant to what we are doing there, they might be able to implement.
Correct. Thank you, Jorit, for adding on that. It also complements a question asked earlier, indeed. Yes. I also saw a question about what Aral Sea basin, if the Aral Sea basin is the same that a watershed. It's not. So in the challenge, we focus on solutions in the watershed. The watershed covers Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, parts of the Aral Sea. The basin covers all the hydrographic scheme that starts from the glaciers areas in Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and goes down all the rivers towards the Aral Sea downstream, covering Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and all the other countries. So these are two different areas, but as I mentioned, your solution focusing on the watershed can still have benefits for the rest of the basin. Did we have other questions, Tim, that I might have missed? Or if you would like to comment on some areas?
Yes, one question, I think. Есть один вопрос по поводу масштаба решения, да? Здесь вот спрашивается, насколько важен масштаб. Это может быть решение на весь бассейн или может быть на маленькую там схему расширения. Ну, ответ таков, что здесь каких-то ограничений по масштабам нет. То есть это может быть очень инновационное решение, которое будет касаться, в принципе, да, там, региона большого. Либо это может быть очень классное решение, которое бы на локальном уровне было применимо. То есть поэтому здесь самое главное другие критерии, о которых мы уже сказали ранее, да, что это должна быть инновационность, это должны быть определенные направления, то есть фокус должен быть какой-то, либо это социально-экономическое решение, либо это информационное решение, да. Так, в принципе, по масштабу, по-моему, у нас нет таких прям ограничений. Главное, чтобы это была идея реалистичная и работающая.
Thank you so much, Maria. So I think I see not other questions right now. Tim, can you confirm with me if we don't have new questions, or if we addressed everything, then I think we can slowly close our meeting.
I just have one comment, Manon.
Yes. Martin?
Is that if there's any question pending, they can always write to Maria and Janina, and then we will post that question in the website. It's important to make sure that everyone can answer. They know that they have a way to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Indeed. So we did this session now, but it doesn't mean that we won't answer your questions anymore after this session. So we are always connected. Just go to our website, propose your questions. We also have a list already of answers to frequently asked questions, but don't hesitate to contact us if you have new worries on your application. I see Maria had a question or a comment. Мария Овальджан.
Да, здесь был еще вопрос от Лауры. Как будет учитываться при выборе победителей мнение государственных органов стран? И есть ли гарантии того, что выигравшие проекты будут действительно реализованы, получат полную поддержку? Здесь от местных госорганов. Здесь такой вопрос, такой момент, что государственные органы, представители государственных органов участвуют в этом проекте непосредственно тоже, и также будут входить, частично будут входить представители в комиссии по оценке проектов, там будет экспертная группа, которая будет оценивать, вот. Но по поводу гарантий, что они будут действительно реализованы, конечно, тут такого нету. Здесь вот именно фокус идет на конкурс инновационных решений. А уже как дальше будут применяться эти технологии, это уже, как уже сказал Джори, да, что частично это, если будет очень классное предложение, будет учитываться в дальнейших проектах Всемирного банка и других крупных доноров. Ну и будем надеяться, что и правительственные программы тоже, ну, то есть через сотрудничество в этом проекте заинтересуются этими инновационными решениями. То есть это тоже одна из наших целей этого проекта, чтобы продвинуть вот эти инновационные решения, да, на государственный уровень также. Поэтому гарантии, конечно, мы не можем дать, но, так скажем, такое содействие распространению этих практик точно будет.
Точно. Спасибо, Мария. Thank you. So if we don't have any new question for now, I would like to thank all of you for participating in our meeting today. Oh, I see if there's another question just coming in. So if there's a shared database that summarizes already implemented projects, and we have some information about complementary ongoing projects in the region right now. This information is available on the challenge webpage, but it doesn't cover all the partners, all the development partners projects. For now, it covers only the World Bank projects. So you can go and check out there. We hope to make it bigger somehow, but for now we had to select a little bit the information, but check our website, it should be there. So I think now we are good. And thank you again for joining us today. And don't hesitate to keep in touch with us if you have further questions on the challenge. Dear team, thank you to you too. And have a nice end of the day and evening to all of you, as well as great winter holidays.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.